All right, once again, my fellow patriots, how y'all doing out there in America, land of the free, home of the brave? Me, the Wicked Wizard, back with another video. If you already watched this and it wasn't right, I apologize. I'm still trying to get things getting good to go here, so I know how to do them. But here we go. We're going to talk about Kamala Harris, diversity hire, who was the border czar, now somehow is not. I don't know how that works, but mainstream media really wants to gaslight you. It's horrible. Check it.
Should not be a limiting
This is Biden,
idea.
anyway.
If he has someone that he likes, he's someone he thinks will foot the bill, I would, in all other things being equal, pick the Hispanic because we should look like America in the court. But do not suggest that you should only pick a woman, a black, Hispanic.
I've made no decision.
Now, you see that? He says you shouldn't just pick somebody because of their color, their skin, or their sexual preference and those type of things. But that's exactly what he did with Kamala, right? Anyway, check it out.
Decision except one. That person will be the first black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court.
Quote unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already
Look at Joy Reid right here. You see this bitch? She's gonna tell you that you got to counter the disinformation because Kamala was never border czar. She reported that Kamala was border czar a couple of years ago. See how these idiots, they think that you're dumb. They think that you have the memory of a goldfish and that you'll just buy whatever the hell they tell you. These people are evil.
hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, do you see that? Border czar. She's the border czar. She's not the border czar. Then she's the border czar. Now she's not the border czar. Fucking Democrats.
She wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very.
That's what Republicans labeled her. No, that's what you labeled her. You lefty shitheads medias.
Critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now,
see, border czar, border czar, border czar. Ding, ding, ding. Right? Border czar, border czar. Ding, ding, ding. Yep, that's what you said.
she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her. She was the border czar. She's not the border czar. She is the border czar. She could be the border czar. Maybe someday she'll be a border czar. Who knows?
Sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
All right, guys, welcome to 19.
Yep. So you got that, right? And of course you got this over here, these CNN idiots.
It's playing out all over conservative media. I just want to do a little bit of record correcting. There's not record crime right now. Number one, Harris was
not record crime.
Put in charge, as you said earlier, of combating
no
the
record
roots
crime
of immigration. She was not and is not the border czar.
It's not the border czar. Record crime. No such thing as crime. Inflation. There's no inflation. There's everything is great in America according to these Democrats. They lie. They're doing a psyop on you, and only their own followers will believe this, because no MAGA people would ever believe this. I mean, and no regular person would ever let themselves be gaslighted like this. This is insanity, man. It's all it is. There we go.
She was never assigned the position of border czar. They're making that up.
Quote unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border.
She never did make it to the border. But so what? Okay, so let's just go with the lefty talking head idiots over here. These jackoffs. Let's just say that she was never a border czar. She was in charge of the border. The border's wide open. The border sucks. But what difference does it make? What is her actual view on the border? Well, let's check it.
Prop up Kamala Harris. It's absolutely amazing to see how desperate the Democratic Party has become.
It is. That's my boy. I'll leave a link in the description here for Barry Cunningham. Good channel. Follow him.
It's wrong to somehow suggest that an undocumented immigrant is a criminal. Being an undocumented immigrant is not a crime. I know what a crime looks like. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. 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 An undocumented immigrant.
That's what they need. Just like that. Off of our border. Go away. Anyway, it's all a joke. This gaslighting is unbelievable, undeniable. But yeah, anyway, until next time, peace out, baby.